welcome to another episode of In Your Face podcast with me, Khwati Gaya. Today, I have another special guest. Like I always have special guests. I only bring special guests on In Your Face podcast. I have Daniel LEBOGANG.
PONDO. A lot of names, eh?
Yeah, sure, man. Man, let me welcome you. Welcome to In Your Face podcast.
In your face! Yeah, man, I've been following you guys with, is Khwati and Sip, ne? Yeah,
Khwati.
Sip and Khwati, I've been following you guys from where I'm residing, and it's quite very interesting. I enjoy and love actually what you guys are doing,
Sure, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome. So today, the reason why I contacted you and I have been talking a lot.
Sure, yeah.
I wanted us to talk about your journey. I feel there is something very special about your journey, man. Ordinary kid from Kgaleshewe, went to Mbangmokgo, that's where you and I met.
Yeah.
Who's into chorale, opera. I just wanted us to, I want you to rather share with the audience your journey. So tell us, who is Leps?
Right. Bro, I'm Daniel, just for your viewers. This never come with it from primary, Otherwise, Kokasi didn't miss Labs, Kasparov, because of chess, just a lot, right? But yeah, grew up Kusabantu, Kopabala Street, and then from there on went to Arena. I think if you're from Kimberley, you should know Arena. Sprint City is known of Sprint City and boxing. We all did Sprint City boxings and all the stuff. But otherwise, grew up Arena. Was involved in sports from a very young age. Used to dance ballroom and Latin. And then the person who taught me how to dance was Lucas Ballet, the conductor. Yeah. I was quite very good with it. But yeah, life happened. I started to sing when I was in standard 4. I remember we were singing alto. Imagine, we were singing alto at that time. It was a quartet, yeah. Then I started to fall in love with music, obviously, from that time. And I wouldn't say I was a smart kid. I was just a kid, an ordinary kid that actually liked books a lot. And grew up without a father.
Sure.
Till today, if you ask me who's my father, I would lie to you. Perhaps you might be my father too, you never know. So grew up without a father. And my mother was very present but absent in my life, where she was not a mother, but she was there. She was more of a sister, but the person who was actually more of a mother to me was my grandma. So I'm like a granny's boy, Yeah. And grew up in church, man, Grew up in church. Hey, bro, when my friends would play soccer on Sunday mornings, bro, I would go to church.
Sure.
You can imagine, bro, like, being a young boy having to go to church wearing formals is something else, And yeah, I wouldn't say poverty because we always ate, we always ate every day. I don't know, most of the 2Ks don't know this, but we grew up with pap and spice, kamahura, or what do you call this? Kanyens, kanyonyo, and those styles. And I started thinking, you are proper, man. You look proper. Nobody will say or not. So yeah, that's how I grew up. And then went to South Plaiki. And then from South Plaiki, went to South Plaiki, a higher, and then they mixed us with Patubari Dirila, And then, because here's the thing, South Plaiki was always the best in everything. Even in music, but we competed with Zingiza.
Yeah, don't say that shit. Can't say that. Remember when I was Zingiza,
But that's the thing.
It's music, it's sports, Inelizingisa.
No, but Sulphuric was, man. You know, that's always debatable. You know, I think Sulphuric was the best, and then Zingiza. Zingiza was good at cricket, ne? Cricket Zingiza was good.
Chief cricket, boxing, choirs. It was Zingisa.
Yeah, boxing. You guys,
Sure.
you know.
Sure.
But we were good too. Like, you think of Tebogo, Museki, Bigger. Ne? So champ from Arena, from South Lake. You think of the brother, Lipsy, champ from Arena, South Lake. So, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, but I can count. We also had Tabo, Dipahwe, but a number of guys, you see. But yeah, man, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, think like I said, I think there was always this competition, a healthy competition actually
Between the two
those two schools, you know. And then now the schools have to come and pay me with supply. Hey, that's a problem, you know. But yeah, that was our journey. And then standard 7, I said there was this choir, the late Jakes, ne, but the dreadlocks. So this, with my tours, they started a heavily vocal waves. You know. Then I went there. Must standard 7. Actually, we went to national with Ridirle at that time. Lucas Bali. Then we obtained position 2. Then we went to heavenly vocal waves. Started to sing there, and then it was Jakes, the late Jakes. May he still rest in peace. My tours. Zolile, and then there was one guy, I forgot him, you know. But that's how we started. I quite be too bad, you know. Then I went to Melodies, Senko Melodies. I remember that time I met Bukhoiti, you know, all the guys, you know, and the late Sheikhs, you know. May their soul rest in peace too. And the late Tatu Mashwari, you know, who was more of a father to us. So when I went there, junior, I went to senior. And then quite a bit too bad, you know. And we went to NCC. And then that's when the love of music now started, you know, and we dominated because we were all very young, man, you know. And yeah, and then there was Marvelous, where you were at, the Chopper, you know. But yeah, that's how it happened. But then we met at school. You were my senior actually with 3 years.
Sure.
Very smart. You were one of the guys that we actually looked up to, you know. Coppola, I was singing the solo, go Zona, and then you, what was the song? That's a German song, man. The quartet.
I can't remember the song now. But
Mir ist so wunderbar. Something like that. And then I sang the song. We won it. And then you went to sing it. And then you went to sing it. But there are people, you took the solo, there are people and all the stuff, you know. I mean, you are our senior, man, you know. Our little bottle like that. Then you sang the song. Yeah, it's fine. And then I think that also go matric. We were actually in matric at the time because the following year, I think we didn't go to nationals. Then the following year, everything was repeated. Yeah. So yeah, man, that was my journey. Quite very tough. Finished matric, obviously. I wanted to become always a lawyer or a doctor. Ne? And then I studied crazy stuff, man. You know, I studied engineering there. That never made sense. They were not difficult, but they never made sense. Eventually, I left the stuff, went to Pretoria, started to kind of get hustles. Nothing worked out, came back home. I remember staying go Hilbrone, Khwati. Should I mention names?
no, you
actually, I was laughing the other day because you went overseas, so I was laughing about it now. So again, man, you know, I always did go Hilbro there, man. You know, I was so crazy, bro. Like, you know, when you wake up, like, like literally go deep, and like Hilbro is Hilbro, you know. It was so scary, bro. I was still young, man, you know. Yeah, and then went to Soweto, came back, you know, tried my ways and everything like that. Eventually, you know, God brought people in my life, you know, and just channeled me back to studying law, and that's where it's all started.
Now you mentioned that you always wanted to pursue law or being a doctor. Now, if you consider, sorry, your background, I remember we grow up Mokasi, and then there are those careers. In order for you to push this one, there needs to be finance.
Yeah.
So were you in a position to push?
Hey, bro. Okay, you know, I actually studied with Unisa. I remember. So I had a very business mind. I was very business minded. So I sold pens So I would buy pens at Take a Lot. And there was this friction pens. So when you write, you can erase. Baba. So I sold pens just to pay registration fees. And I remember when I made a lot of money there, I went into network marketing, sold forever projects, and it never went actually anywhere. And the worst part is a lot of people that owe me till today, But like every cent that I had, I would take it and put it go accounting at Unisa. I remember I only had take one, and God is amazing, like one take, bro, for the whole year. And then the next day when I buy another ticket, airfare, like, But that's how it was. And even like, because UNISA, it could North Cape, so I had to walk. I had to literally walk from Arena to the mall. So you can imagine the distance every time. I was actually telling a friend of mine, saying, I remember there was a time, last year, so I got my 8:15. And it was tough. And I was hungry, So my grandma, when I'm feeling, rant, and so I bought those 50-cent biscuits. There was this biscuit, just my friend, it was 5 or something, so. Hey, so just to get something sweet, man, At this point, you need there's water there, I remember, man, I cried. I'm thinking, fancy more West End graveyards. And there's no safer route there because King Town, everything is rough. And I cried, literally cried, and going home like, God, I don't know what's up. I don't know what I did to you. I passed. I never feel anything. I'm very smart and all the stuff, And I wanted to give up. I told me I'm going to give up. And then I saw a Jaguar. No, I love Jaguar. I love a Jaguar so much. I'm like, no. You know what? It's fine. I'm going to push. And I never gave up. There were a lot of times I wanted to give up, because of finances, I remember first year I funded myself. Second year I funded myself, and because of that, it was quite very tough. It was quite very tough. I met few guys that tried to associate there. Eventually, with all that money too, I would take that So eventually, I ended up being broke. But my aim was I want to finish this thing. I want to finish this thing. And it all started law actually all started when I was in standard 3, which is grade 5. That's where law actually started because my uncle was actually arrested at the time. He's late now. So he was then arrested. And I was like, you know what? I this guy because I believe he's not guilty, He was a good person. He was like a father to me. And it's the only father that I have. And that's where the thing of law started that time. But it died over the years, boom music, like you got all the stuff, man, and it dies, but eventually, when it came, I ran with it. Wanted to give up with no money, but yeah, eventually, I managed to get NSFAS funding go UNISA, which a lot of people don't know, actually, that NSFAS do fund UNISA students, So I went there, and once I got funding, I started to get distinctions, like literally, because now my mind was clear that I'm going to focus on my studies. Then I started to get distinctions.
So did you finish your LLB within record time?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Definitely. I actually failed 2 subjects, failed 2 subjects, got about 2 subs, but I passed everything. Passed everything, got quite good distinctions too, but I passed everything.
Okay. Now you mentioned something about the choir. I want you to tell, I don't know, what is there any role that choir has played in your life as an ordinary person? Yeah. What would you say? I'm saying this simply because of my 2K, actually, I don't know what is it, so my 2K was it around. With us, we had all these type of things. We had choirs, there were ballroom dancing classes, traditional dancing, sports, different sporting codes. But with them, so when you sit now and think, what is it that you can say, but choir had contributed in my life? If it wasn't for the choir, I would not have been where I am now.
Yeah. Check, I'm not going to lie to you. To a greater extent, I mean, there was a lot of other stuff that I could have done. When I look at the people that I grew up in front of, not in front of, that I grew up with actually, when I look at them and where I am now, God forbid, but I think that I'm in a good position, in terms of having attained so many stuffs, and all because of the times where I could have done so many stuffs, that didn't add any value. I went to choir every day, and that constrained me, from not doing so many stuffs. Till today, I don't even know this toti talbo hosh, what, because I was good choiring. My mind was consumed by books, choir, and chess, because I'm a chess player too, and all that. I think the only thing, like, and we discussed about this earlier on before everything, is the balance.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
That most of the guys, which I don't blame them too, in the choirs, they didn't mentor us properly in terms of giving us that sense of, guys, you need to balance out your studies and then the choir. So that needs to be balanced. So it's all choir, you forget the books. And a lot of good people, primary choiring, ended up only focusing on choirs, then they forgot the books. Good year, but they forget year. But if there was a bit of balance, they could have been far. So and that goes to any other sporting coach or any other thing, extramural activity. It's really an issue of having to know how to balance everything out. And check, man, would still encourage people to just do something. When you go to Bukazai, CBC, children are doing some stuff. They do certain sporting coaches. Either they play piano, violin, or whatsoever, but their mind are not only preoccupied by books, but there's something else. And we all have talents eventually, So yeah, I think choir literally just constrained me from not doing so many other stuff that I could have done. I'm not perfect. I could have done those stuff. I could have been good jail maybe. I don't know, But because I was with the right people, we're not perfect too. Could have their mistakes, But because of that, you look at the likes of the late Reverend Jackals, who was a father to a lot of us, and he would be concerned, if you're not right, and talk to you, like, what's up? King, and all the stuff. So he was like a father too.
Yeah.
And like I've said, with me, as much as I never grew up with my father, I had a lot of fathers, bro. Like, quite a lot of fathers. People have like a father. If you look pro good tone, can you municipality there? So yeah, and that's the thing. If your mind is not occupied by so many things, you'll end up doing wrong things.
Lebs, I want to take you back to what you just said now. And it's something that I personally can relate to, which is one, growing up not having your biological father present in your life. Sorry. Now, what would you say? How did that affect you, if it did in any way, not having your dad or your father in your life?
No, it did, eh? It did big time. The truth of the matter is that, there are certain days that I hated. Christmas, Father's Day, even Mother's Day to an extent, and Sundays. And the reason would be, Monday when you go to school, the guys will tell you, it's papa, like his family stuff and everything like that. You have nothing to talk about, because we were watching wrestling around the time. Wrestling at 5 o'clock and all the stuff, books, but you didn't have sense of having to share the stories too. And because you could see children and the excitement, when they talk about their families and all the stuff, and now you can't, and because of that, I remember I actually served my father and I want this guy and everything like that, But I remember the scripture, I'm just going to digress a bit, which indicated that I will turn the hearts of the fathers to their sons, not the hearts of the sons to the fathers, And I'm like, but if that is the case, if this guy knows that I am where I am now, his heart should be convicted so that he can be able to search for me. Because now the issue is that you're going to go there and he doesn't want you, and that's going to hurt you more.
Yeah.
So it did affect me, but like I've said, that, growing up in church, in actual fact, God became my father. And besides him being my father, there were other people too, other men in my life who were fathers, and other women who were mothers in my life. And now I'm a child, I'm a child, maybe. So I listen to advices and all those stuff. Yeah.
Now, how important is it for a father to be present in the life or in the lives of their kids? I'm saying this so that we can speak to our generation.
Yeah.
As far as how important is it? What is your impact? What is the possible impact or effect of the absence of a father in a child's life?
Yeah. Check, when you talk about family, there's certain dynamics, right, in that creates a solid, healthy family structure. And because of that, you need a father and a mother.
Sure.
Right. And a mother, there's a certain role they would play that a father would not play. Yes, mothers would be loving, kind, they would nurture the child and even be gracious. But in terms of discipline, you need a father. In terms of instilling a firm and healthy rudiments, or rather culture to the child, you want a father. Because a lot of young people, and this is what I've seen, because I talk to men, my heart is with the young guys. Ne? And when I was practicing and all that, I saw a lot of guys who are in prison. When I consult with them and talk to them, absence of fathers are the reasons why they are where they are today. So most of the guys who are in prison today, not all of them, most of them, their excuse when you do thorough consultation, it's because of there's no father.
But what you just said now, how important is it as well for a mother, and especially these young parents, how important is it for young mothers when they have broken up with the fathers? How important is it for them to allow the father to be a part and not to try and
Spite.
yes, I didn't want to use the word.
No, but that's it.
Sure. How important is it for them?
Checks, clicks, ne? It has nothing to do with the child, but with the parents.
Sure.
Right. And it should be within the best interest of the child.
Sure.
So any decision that is taken should first be
About the child.
about the child, the best interest of the child, before our interests. Right. And I remember one judge that I was working with, said that the issue when it comes to a lot of divorces, it's the issue that a lot of parents are fighting amongst themselves and then they forget the child. So if two elephants are fighting, the grass is the one that that suffers.
Sure.
That's what happened to the children. These two people are fighting, but the child or the children are suffering. So if they would just take the difference aside to say, what, we will fight when we have to fight, but now what is important for the child? And let's consider that as adults. Because we can't act as children who wants to raise a child. You need to be adults who consider the interest of the child and try to create a healthy relationship for a healthy environment for the child, so that the child can grow to become the person that she ought to be in a good and healthy environment.
Sure. Now let's talk about something else. I think you and I have a lot in common. You also mentioned that your mom was around, but she was not present. Your grandma is the one that literally took charge, and which is something that I can also relate to. Yeah. Now, how did that affect you as a young boy? Because if there's something that I've learned, I've seen that these young boys gravitate more towards their mothers. So how did that affect you?
Yeah, okay. For me, my mother was more like a sister, ne?
Sure.
But I think when she conceived me, she was quite very young.
Okay.
And beautiful too, like super beautiful. So I don't blame her, man. Like groping with her when I was still young, like, yeah, I'm going to the streets. She was beautiful, Baba. But yeah, she was more my mom. My grandmother was more of a mom So when I grew up, I knew her to be
The mom.
the mom, you know. And then my mom, as much as I knew she was the mom, but she was more of a sister in terms of the relationship, you know. But yeah, it's a mother and son relationship, but it's not like a typical mother and son relationship, you know. It's more like of a sister kind of and brother kind of relationship, or maybe aunt and you know, it's more like those kind of relationship. In terms of affecting me, to be honest with you, it didn't really affect me because of that relationship, you know.
With the grandma.
Yeah, with the grandmom, you know, because I think she closed that void. Like I had the privilege of knowing my grandmother's grandmother, so there's like 5 generations. You know, I had the privilege of knowing that, and I was very close with her, with my great grandmother, with my grandmom too. You know, so that mother void
Was
like
not
was sorted
really.
out that way.
Now, is your mom still alive?
Yeah,
Sure. Ever had a conversation with him about your dad?
bro, that's not my place, eh? She likes to mention the stuff, and like I'm not there, man. I don't think that guy would add any value now. I mean, my life.
No, no, no. I'm asking with regards to finding out who is this guy? Where is the guy from? Ever had that conversation with her?
Yeah, we did, but then that was it. You know, we did went to a funeral of the guy's brother and all the stuff, but man, like, how should I put it? It wasn't something that I wanted to pursue because of where I was, you know, and even like now, where I am, I don't see him even he's gonna add any value. It's like, okay, sharp, you're gonna come, you're gonna be far, and then what? Like, I don't need that. When I needed it the most, you're not there. Not need it, then what?
Sure. Now, let's talk about your mom. You see, your mom is still alive, though mom played a role as if she was your sister. Ever had that conversation perhaps with your mom to say, no, but Yamana, I'm actually your kid, but why is the relationship like this between the two of us?
No.
But why not?
I don't know, man. I think, you know, it's like you know this person, my mom, and that's it. You know? And thing is, when I was Kosabi, then my brother came, right? And my brother was like, no, no, no. You know, I never even felt jealous. That's the thing, you know? It's like my grandmother was every person's mother, you know? And my mom, when I was young, like, I started to go high. Baba. And then she met the father to my brother. You know, so I used to visit them, you know, and all the stuff. But like, I don't know, it's a crazy relationship, you know. So it doesn't close. I know this is my mom. That's it. It ends there. Like, this is my mom. You know, we don't have that. Mama, what? I even call her with her name, her first name. You know.
Oh, that's the same as me. My mom led my religion. That's the same thing. Like, okay, sharp. Your mom, how many kids does your mom have?
Myself, like 4. The second one actually passed on than my brother.
Okay. Now,
There's 4 that are alive, actually.
sharp. Now, how's the relationship with the others, your siblings?
Those ones, you know, they're mommy and daddy, because now, remember, she's married now. Like mommy and daddy's.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Crazy, no?
I'm laughing because I can relate. I sure,
You did homes, man. You did homes.
you know these things, bruh. Sure. But I want us to talk about what else do I want us to talk about? You briefly mentioned your journey in as far as attaining your qualification. For those who do not know, what is it that you studied? I know, guys don't know. So, yeah, man.
I studied LLB,
Sure.
or
What is LLB, Mona?
okay,
Remember?
I studied law,
Sure.
a degree in law. I finished it in record time, even though I failed some stuff, you know, but I pushed it in record time. Graduated my LLB, which is the law, and then from there on, yeah, did my articles with one of the biggest law firms in South Africa, Legal Aid. You know, it's one of the biggest firms in South Africa. Yeah, finished that part. Wrote hectic board exams. Passed them to those board exams. Failed, but passed. Got orals there, you know. Or yeah, eventually finished with that. got murdered yesterday, man.
Congratulations. Now I had you on. Remember, you sent me the video.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I shared. So, those who are mommy contactless, they saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So now I'm an attorney of the High Court of South Africa. So, yeah.
Sure. Now, span wise,
I work at the court at the Johannesburg. Actually, okay, I'm currently residing in Joburg.
sure.
So I work at the High Court in Joburg as a very important official to very, very important people. Very important stuff. We do very important things that we are not allowed to talk, obviously, and divulge here. But yeah, serious stuff, man.
Now, tell us your occupation.
No, I'm a judge's secretary.
Sure.
I'm a secretary to the judges. Like serious stuff, man. Brilliant minds, learning a lot. I was called Legal Wise. I was working at Legal Wise, then I got a job. After Legal Aid, went to Legal Wise as a legal advisor in the case management department. So that's like totally remote, bro. Totally remote, 100% working from home. But then when this opportunity came, I grabbed it. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with judges, man?
I want us to talk about your journey now as somebody of editing or spanner. You said you did your articles with Legal Aid. How was it? First day, you know nothing. You have to go to court. How was the first day in court?
Yeah, okay. So at Legal Aid, what happens? They register your articles, ne? With the Legal Practice Council, which is called LPC. So, and then for a period of a month, because you don't know when your right of appearance might come. So your right of appearance practically allows you to go to court.
Sure.
So you don't know. It might take a month. It might take weeks. You don't know. But then the person who leaves, the CA or the candidate attorney who leaves, obviously will be filling their shoes. Yeah, for the years. Yeah. If the contract expired, then you will fill in their shoes and take that court. So you'll observe, right? So I mean, I'm a public speaker, man. A public speaker. I grew up speaking, so I never had an issue with speaking, to be honest with you. So I was actually looking forward to it because I was always practicing there in my room. Your Worship, I confirm my appearance on behalf of the accused. I would always do that. But as prepared as I was, the first day in court when this person left, my right of appearance actually came in the morning. And then I said, hey, you should go and do court. Go and do court. Okay. Unless I should postpone. I cannot do anything. Should postpone. Went to court. The magistrate wanted me to do the trials. But didn't consult with those people. Bro, it was hectic. That guy hated me from day one. We fought every day. I was sick. I remember there was a time when I had anxiety attacks, bro. Like, it was crazy. This guy hated me. And you know the worst part about working at Legal Aid, ne? Which is great. Like, Legal Aid, trust me, is good. But the worst part about working there was that you would literally be in that court. That's like your court. It's your court. When you go to work, that's your court. So you're going to face this person
every day.
Every day. Sure. And this person, how right? Like, it's clear how right, But yeah, eventually I managed to do some stuff and we changed. And then, yeah, I started to enjoy litigation a lot. Actually got a lot of convictions first. My last year I got a lot of acquittals, So these guys didn't go to jail there. They were always going out, just fighting for them. It was a great journey. It was at a very small place called Vredendal in the Western Cape, which I actually enjoyed, that side. Because I've learned so much about small places. And that's when I started to actually even heal as a person, from this fatherlessness, Because sometimes you think you are healed, then if something triggers you, then you realize you're not healed. But that's when I healed because now but before I go, let me just digress. So for me, law is more of a calling, man.
Sure.
If it's not a calling, just, I don't know, you're gonna die. So it's more of a calling, right? And kind of a ministry in a way too. So I kind of like took the calling and the ministry part and mixed them, you know. So even when I consult, I would kind of like minister a little bit to these guys. Somebody would cry and all the stuff, you know, because I would want them to change. Like I've said, like my heart is for guys. So doing that was my journey of healing. So that's when I say that I would actually even forever be grateful of legal aid, you know, because I started to hear, I started to talk to these guys, I started to see myself in them, you know, that I could have been here. I'm not different from any person. I'm not different from somebody who's in prison. The only difference is the decision that we took. You know, remember scripture says that the ways of a child are foolish, but are straightened with a rod. So some of us were beaten, you know, for us to be straight. But those that were never beaten, they thought that in their foolishness they were wise, and that's where they are today, and they led them to whatsoever they are now in their lives.
I want us to touch on something that I've realized, but I know, but for people, you are somebody who's very religious. You're somebody who's a Christian.
I don't consider myself a Christian, but yeah.
Oh, okay. But how has religion, or what role has religion played in your life?
I hate the word religion.
Sure.
Né? Because you know your relationship with God is personal.
Sure.
You know, but with religion there are a lot of constraints or some stuff, you know, that boxes you.
Sure.
You know. So your relationship with God is personal, and the role that He has played was practically to constrain me from doing stuff that I can do, that I should not do them. You know, an example of that is that the way God is real in my life, right, and the way that He is true in my life, there are stuff that I can do, but I wouldn't do them, not because I cannot do them, but because of I fear Him, and I don't want to disappoint Him. And the fear is not fear that is going to beat me up, but it's out of respect and love of who He is. I don't know if you understand me though, but yeah, that's practically it, you know. And a typical example, if you go wherever, for the fact that your parents have sent you there, you're going to perform because you don't want to disappoint them.
Sure.
You know, something like that.
Sure.
No, so His love has constrained me. It has kept me from not doing stuff that I can do. I mean, it's easy to sleep around. It's easy to do so many things. But because of knowing the consequence of that and knowing that it's wrong, some certain stuff are morally wrong. And because of He loves me so much, that His love alone would convict me to not do those things.
No. You mentioned something about not sleeping around. Now I want you to speak, minister to young.
Yeah, bro,
That's what he said.
They will tell you, who are you?
So let's speak to these young guys who maybe do not have father figures in their lives. Remember, as us guys, we are made to believe that having multiple partners as something tops, and then we like if you do that thing, like we are there, Sheva man. So how I want us to speak to these young boys, because my podcast is part of a network as Khwati.
Yeah.
Now Khwati, the content is mostly consumed by young people.
Yeah.
Now I want us to speak to these young boys.
Yeah.
I call them young boys, man. They're young boys.
The young men.
Young boys. I'm now being a closer guys. They're young boys. So how important is it for them, man, to do away with that misconception, yeah, sleeping around at some things is a shop?
Check ne. Kimberley. So the mindset ya Kimberley, which is very dangerous, is that if you don't do certain stuff,
Sure.
right, and nobody wants to be mohu, you know. So what you'd rather do, and then you do stuff that you know that this is wrong, but just because you're going to fit in and it becomes a new norm, then you do that. And I think that's where it is. I took I took literally an identity when I was still cooking back, you know. I mean, I have a friend, Katlego Nosi, and Klom Pomegranate, you know. We're mukhus, we're not Katlego, they call us pasta, schooling and all the stuff, right? But both of us, all three of us are not in Kimberley. We enjoy, like, we're doing okay, you know. Because we knew what we wanted, you know. Like I've said, how muhu if you don't do certain stuff? How muhu if you don't sleep around with any woman that you see? You know, how muhu to have one partner? How muhu to not drink? And I've never drank, I've never smoked in my life. Well, okay, and what's part can you get And what like you know, you know. Like, and here's the thing, any person that I sang with can attest and tell you this guy never drank. You know? But and they never said kimuhu, you know? But what I'm saying is that you need to know what you want. And I don't say that people that drink, that do the stuffs, you know, they shouldn't do it. You know, we have different beliefs in all the stuffs, you know. But what I'm saying is that just don't do something just for the sake of doing it. You know, do stuff that are important, do stuff that matters. You know, and what matters the most is you having to understand who you are as a man. Get somebody there to mentor you. If I had a mentor at a very young age, bro, I could have had a maybe like a Porsche there, you know, or something. But we need a lot of mentors. Me and you, we're supposed to mentor those guys. You know, we're supposed to show them the way. We're supposed to teach them to the right. But they need to have a teachable spirit too.
Sure.
You know, and they need to know that if we say, check, don't do this thing, don't do it. You can ask why, it's fine, but don't do it. Because sometimes you don't need to experience certain stuff.
On that one, how important is it if I'm going to be a mentor? How important is it for me to also lead by example?
But that's what mentor is all about, you know. Bro, now I have my mentor. I spoke to him yesterday when I was admitted. I said, like, I'm admitted. You know, I account to him. You know, and I know that if there's anything that I want to talk to him about, I'll talk to him. And trust you me, he leads by example the way he lives. The way he lives, he leads by example. He's a very, very famous guy, you know, South Africa. But he leads by example. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. He reads the scriptures, you know. He leads by example. And I have other mentors too in my career and all the stuff, you know, and they lead by example. So if you want to be a mentor, you need to first introspect yourself. That whether are you going to be a man of substance? Are you going to be a man that a lot of boys would look up to and say, I want to be like this guy? And will they be proud to say this guy's my mentor? You know?
Leps, you mentioned something very, very important and deep. Now, what are the characteristics of a good mentor? I'm saying this simply because a young person might see me as somebody who's sharp and would say, no, man, I want this guy to mentor me. For simple reasons, he likes how I dress, likes how I conduct myself, but doesn't know what are the things that I might doing. So if we were to advise these young boys, just a few of those, what are those characteristics that one should look at, or rather try and identify from a person and say, no, but this one, no, I can, why see him as a mentor? Why want him to be my mentor?
Yeah, thanks. You are killing me. You are killing me, ne? But you could have, but yeah. Yeah, no. So this is actually very interesting. And again, good with discernment, but I wouldn't blame the young guys, you know, because like you said, they will look at you to be like, but this guy drives this car and all the stuff, but they don't know above, like they don't know you with all those stuff, you know. But one of the most important things, man, look at somebody as to where they are in their lives in terms of the role they play in the community. You know, and I don't say they should be the comradely or being actively involved there and all the
Sure.
stuff, you know, but look at how they treat their wives, you know, or their children, you know, whether do they love their children, do they honor and respect their children, do they honor and respect their wives, you know, and care for them, you know, do they show grace to their wives and all the stuffs, you know, for them to be able to mentor you into how to be a man and a father to the society. You know, my mentor, I remember this is the thing, bro, for 3 years and so many months, every day, every morning, taught us what is it to be a man, what is it to be a father and a husband. Not married, not even a father, but taught those stuffs. Right. And I was blessed, to be honest with you. I was blessed. Ne? But this is every day doing that. And sometimes you would do it in the evenings too. Ne? And we would have a lot of one-on-one conversations via WhatsApps and all the stuff. Ne? Where we teach you how to be a father into society, how to check a community of men, you know, to kind of belong to, you know, and what characteristics you choose. Meaning that, like I've said, loving, caring, do they honor their wives, you know, do they, the proper word would be cover their family, you know, rather than having to expose them. Because if you do certain stuffs, basically exposing the nakedness of your house,
Yeah.
you know, to the society, but you have to cover that. And to cover that, meaning that you need to honor and respect your wife. You need to protect her even if she's not around. You know, does that person do that? If you talk with them, how do they look at women? You know, do they say, just stop, you know, Kimberley people, you know, or what? You know, just say, stop, you know. But the such person cannot be a mentor. You need somebody that will honor and respect women. If you say that person, stop, say, don't talk like that.
Sure.
That's not how you talk. You know, you need somebody that will be like that, you
Sure.
know. So yeah, that's practically the characteristics that you should check, and the role that they play in society, in their households, even at church, if you're in church.
Sure. You may. You're talking about your wife. Are you married?
Bro, you know.
Yeah. I do. Are you
Yeah,
married,
yeah.
bro? Sure, you're married. Now, I asked this intentionally. Now, let's speak to the young ladies out there. What are some of the things that
Hey, I see that question coming.
that to as a man would look at in choosing somebody to be their wife?
With guys is different, man.
Sure.
Nah. I'm not going to talk about anything physical, right? I think all that guys want is respect, man.
Sure.
Respect. Women doesn't have issue with loving us, bro. They would love you. The issue they have, not all too, is respect. Any guy wants to be valued,
Sure.
to want a sense of belonging. We don't want mothers, but we don't say that do not be a mother sometimes, but we don't want mothers, you know. We want somebody that would make us to be vulnerable, understand when we're vulnerable, that we need them to sympathize with us. You know, we want somebody that we can cry and then they would listen to us. We want somebody that would serve us. And that's where the problem comes in, because they don't want to submit, you know. And when you talk about the relationship, and that's what people don't understand, now, a relationship is all about serving each other. Like, you know, and when people talk about provision, when you provide, you render service.
Sure.
Right. And they take them and then you think of money.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that come to it. That can be a whole, no, bro, it can be a whole talk. You know, just about how to serve a man and how to serve a woman.
Sure.
You know. But we want a woman that will serve us. If you give me this thing, you don't say, that's your cost that. You know, bring the food and give it even on a platter, you know, something like that. You know, give it to me and say, baby, it's your food. Trust you me. If you treat me like a king, you have me. I will check some other woman just to wash my eyes, and all the stuff. But I would not be able to want to lose you because I know that I'm valued and I'm treated like a king. Because I'll treat you like a queen, definitely.
Nah, I heard what you said.
Don't cry, man.
No, this is the other thing that I want us to talk about, man. It's how important is family? Because I'm asking you this thing as somebody who's young, who's where you are now, married, and we've normalized this thing of dating. You'd be with somebody, would have kids with them for 15, 20 years. Yeah, man, how important is it? Man, these guys are laughing. How important is it?
Guys are laughing with like, this guy's deep now.
How important is a family structure in the society?
There's no society without family. The backbone of society is family. You know, our family values are important, but a society is made out of different family values.
Sure.
So we cannot have a functional society if you don't have a functional family. Right. So there's nothing that's important as family. There's one of my mentors. Actually, I need to go see him today because I'm leaving tomorrow. That the Jerry Shupin. He's in his 90s now. He told me one thing, said, Dan, whenever you're going to choose a wife, look at the family background. You don't want to make a mistake. This is a man whom the wife passed on recently, and we're going to celebrate the 60th anniversary. And the wife passed on before that. Said that. So, and I don't say that people who come from a disadvantaged, or what do I call it? I don't want to use the word a dysfunctional family, but let me just say that, dysfunctional family background cannot create a good or functional family because they know what they want, most of them. But it is important to understand that in order for a society to be prosperous and to live in harmony, you need good family structures. You need a father that will be a father in the society, in the household, a mother who will be a mother in the society, in her household, and you need men and women that will see each other as brothers and sisters. When I grew up, I never knew what rape was until recently, so many years back, when this thing is just prevalent, and so many stuff is just prevalent. I grew up with a lot of women. It was just okay, but when guys started to see women, like, Jesus, Kimberley, when a woman is beautiful, like, you're my candy, oh, you're my candy. But if you start to say, I don't say that you see them as a sister and then like, I want get married. But if you see a potential, see that person as a wife. Lost his girlfriend stuff. See this person is, I want to marry this person. And then just look at the reasons. Whether will she be a good woman to me? Will she be a good woman, a good person to the society? And will she be a good mother to my children? That's all that you need. That's the standard.
Let's go back. Let's talk about somebody, and it's somebody who Alena we have in common. The late Ref Chuckles. What role has it like? What is the role that he played in your life?
Hey, bro. Ref, ne? Okay, I'm not going to take the conducting there, man. Rev was a brother, a father, an uncle. He was somebody that simplified stuff. If you had issues,
Sure.
he would simplify the solutions.
Sure.
And another thing very fair, man. He didn't have drama. He didn't like drama.
Yeah.
He was just a very, very chilled person. Very chill, didn't have any drama. And to me personally, Because we talk a lot about scripture. If he would go and share the word, he would tell me what he's going to share about, want to hear, pick my brain, all the stuff, you know. So in a way, he played a role in channeling me like into ministry, of which I never went to ministry because I ran my game. Me, I'm not a pastor. I'm a brother, you know. But to me, he played a role of a father, of a brother, of a pastor, even though I didn't attend Kereke High, because even at choir, you know, he would tell us of the word
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
all the stuffs, you know. So, yeah, man, yeah, we lost somebody there. Probably lost somebody. I still remember how he passed on, you know. And that last message hit me very hard. It's like that was meant to be his last word in the city, you know. So yeah, he actually just simplified even what it is to be a father. Here's the crazy part. Maybe a lot of people don't even know. He would go, and his children sing nicely. He would go with his children to choir, bro, when they were still young, you know. And those children today are very good singers, you know. So you could see that there was balance. He could balance things out. He was working as a husband, as a father, he was a pastor, but he had balance of that. And he understood what to prioritize. And he would bring his family to the choir because the wife was singing there. And he'd bring the children, would sit there, he would conduct, and the children would sit there, you know, and then he would conduct the choir, you know. And when you look at that, you see an example of what we need to emulate from him as a father, as a man, as a husband, and as a man in the society, because he added value to a lot of us.
Sure.
But I'm not talking about over 100 people. I'm talking about people who are AME, you know, because he connected AME, NCC, and then and when we left, you know, there was other people from other places in the Northern Cape, you know, where he added value in school choirs. He went there and all the stuff. I mean, same applies to Kobunati. I don't even know where is he now, you know. These guys added value to a lot of us because they took us literally out of the streets. Many of us could have been maybe in drugs today, you know, we could have done so many things, but they literally took us out of the streets.
Your grandma, is she still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I came with her, man, from Joburg. She's still here.
Now, if I'm not sure how often you do it. I know with us, Barababukas, we don't do it often to tell our parents how much we love them or we value them, or just give them their flowers. If your grandma was to watch this, there's the camera. Talk to your grandma. For the man that you are now, where you are in life.
Mam Khwati, Tikela, Manoni. Big ups. I love you. You know, I mean, she knows everything. You know, I love you. You are more than a mother. You obviously more than a grandmother. You know, you're my rock and roll. We roll together every time. And yeah, I love you a lot.
Sure. You are from Kimberley. You're now based in Johannesburg or in Gauteng. Sure. Speak to the young men. Talk to them. Talk to these young girls. With everything that is going on,
You would not want to find yourself one day laying in your sick death bed and then asking yourself, what if? What if I took the chance or the opportunity that I had? What if I just told my mother I love him? What if I didn't beat that woman? What if you don't want to ask yourself what ifs? You know, and you don't want to live a life of regrets. So every opportunity that you have, every opportunity that you find in you having to prove yourself to be a man and to be able to add value where you can, do that. And if you need men to talk to, there's a lot of fathers in society that are willing to hear. You're not alone. And trust you me, your problems are not bigger than the rest of us. Some of us, maybe our problems are not even bigger than most of the other people, but we manage to push through and just push one more time. The day will come to an end. Tomorrow is a new day. Yeah.
Now, lastly, in closing, to that person who has this something in common, like you and I, who does not have grew up without a dad, grew up with the mom,
Yeah.
like just words of encouragement, man. What would you? Yeah, man. We are like I'm also proud of who I am in life. Might not have a lot, but I think I've made it. You see, you are as well more that part in life where you feel like, I've pushed through.
Yeah.
I'm there. I might not have millions. I might not have all these material things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
Guys, this is difficult, eh? Should I talk to the kings or the queens?
Both.
My kings and queens. Because I think women are more vulnerable, though. But guys are vulnerable too. But yeah. Guys, let God be your father. You know, and there's a lot of fathers out there. Like I've said, I believe in mentorship. Get a mentor and get somebody that has heart for mentorship. Because there's a difference between a coach and a mentor. You need somebody that would care, somebody that would check up on you, somebody that you would account to, somebody that whenever you have issues, you can be able to talk and ask for advice. You need that person. Otherwise, never make your peer your mentor. You know, they haven't experienced a friction of what other people have experienced. There are people out there that are willing to help, and this is both women and men that I personally know of that avail themselves to assist young people who go through quite a lot, who doesn't have parents, and they actually avail themselves to assist. So you're not alone too. Push through and try to betterfy yourself. You know, nobody's going to come and save you. It's tough already with the Ramaphosa economy
Jesus.
and any other thing is tough. So nobody's going to push you. Nobody's going to baby you. Man up, woman up, go out and push. God will take care of the rest.
Labs from here, plans?
Opening my law firm in the near future, bro. Sure. Not in Kimberley, Joburg. Opening my law firm. I have quite a few business interests. Praying to get a house in Ghana, you know. Oh yeah, that's it, man. And actually, there's something I would like to do in Kimberley, but I'm still praying about it. I'm praying about it. I want to do something in Kimberley. I will disclose that once everything is sorted out, you know. But it will be for the young guys.
Sure.
You know, it will be for the young guys. Understanding there's already something that's gala something that's happening, you know. Gentlemen's thing
The
that's happening,
gentleman's gala.
But there's something I would want to do, more like boot camps actually, you know, for the young guys and call the right people so they can be able to come and mentor. But yeah, opening my own law firm, put my business stuff, be a good man to society, and yeah, just be a good child and a son. I'm a son, you know, just be a good son.
Sure, man. No, man, thank you very much.
Danko.
I had to wait for this interview. Yo.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
No, time, boy, man. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy that we finally got the chance to sit down, and I think I can confirm that it was very informative. Like I would always say, I want each of the episodes to be that episode that's going to ignite something in the society. I want when somebody sits or switches their phone on and they decide to watch this thing, there's something that this thing is going to ignite.
Yeah.
So Norman Leps, thank you very much, son. All of the best.
Just man.
Sure, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that was another episode of In Your Face podcast with me, Polani Gaya. Yeah, man. So see you next time. Please do not forget, like, share, subscribe, and join also.